To keep myself motivated this week, I'm setting myself a challenge to transform 4 different parts of the house in 4 days. For this first of 4 challenges, I'd been hoping to show you a dramatic transformation of a wall from an ugly render cover to a beautiful natural stone finish. And to an extent, this part of the wall has just about achieved that. This part, however, has not. One of the reasons for actually doing this work was to check the condition of the wall beneath the render, and also to check some of the cracks that I could already see, how deep they were and whether they might cause any structural problems. There are actually a few cracks on this wall, but the one that's most concerning runs from above this prop on a diagonal line all the way to the top of the wall, and it looks like it could be pretty deep, and therefore the whole section of this wall probably going to have some structural problems that I'm going to have to deal with. And here's a bit of a zoom in for you of that crack. So even though there's been a reasonable change in the look of the wall, as you can see in this before and after comparison, overall I would have to rate this challenge a fail. But not to worry, because I'm going to move on and get on with the next one. It's another beautiful sunny day here, and although it was very cold first thing this morning, it's now pretty warm. Unfortunately, for my second of 4 challenges, I've got to go back inside. And that's because my next challenge is to make this wall here look a bit more beautiful. You may remember that I took the plaster off this wall a few weeks ago when it was raining, but I never really got round to either tidying it up or cleaning out the joints and making the wall look a bit better. This work is going to involve taking off some of the plaster that's still on top and clearing out the mortar between the joints. And for this, I'm going to be using the grinder with the metal brush. So it's going to get pretty dirty, and I'm not sure how much you'll be able to see during the process. I'm just waiting for the dust to settle in that room before heading back in there to carry on with the work. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to talk to you about a couple of parts on this wall from the last challenge. The first one is the window in the top left-hand corner that is blocked up. I did know that it was there because I have a photo from I think about 20 years ago where the window was still in place. So I'm guessing it was boarded up about 15 years ago. The good news is that I definitely want to have a window in that spot again, because I was reminded yesterday I was working up there of what an amazing view it does have. The second item on the wall that I wanted to talk about is the buttress in the middle there, which you might have noticed I haven't been taking the render off. And the reason for that is at the moment in my plans, I don't intend to keep it in its current shape and form, although part of it might need to be retained for some structural purposes. I don't actually know how long that buttress has been in place, because in a portrait of the house which I have here, the buttress wasn't in place. And I was given that portrait by a local who told me that it was probably from 60 or 70 years ago, and therefore that buttress has probably been added in the last 40 or 50 years. For what reasons, I'm not sure. I think it might have been for some water storage in the lower section and perhaps some storage for the kitchen in the higher part. Unfortunately, it's quite difficult to show you at the moment because of all the props I've got in the way and the fact that there's no floor in between. But at a later date, I'll come back and show you the inside of that. And I will also confirm exactly what plans I have for that buttress once I know what overall work we've got to do on that wall, especially in relation to the structure. Pretty good progress made there. I'm now going to leave the wall for a bit, let it dry off, and then I'll be doing some more cleaning on it. I'm now going to tidy up my stuff, get a bit of the dust off me, and then I'll be back early tomorrow to crack on with the next challenge.